One day, Thomas and Percy were sitting in the yard, not doing their work. "Did you see Stafford yesterday? He really shunted those trucks." Just then, Arthur puffed in. "You two should really do your work," he said. "Sir Topham will be very cross if you don't." And then he puffed away with his troublesome trucks. "Should we listen to what he said?" "No, Percy," said Thomas. "It's our lazy day." Then Philip rolled in. "What you guys doing?" he said. "It's our lazy day," said Thomas and Percy. "Lucky, I have to work." And Philip rolled away. Then James pulled up. "You guys should really do your work." "But it's our lazy day," said Percy. "Sir Topham will be very cross if you don't do your work." And James puffed away. Just then, Arthur was rolling down the tracks. The troublesome trucks were pushing him after he went down Gordon's Hill. "Ah!" Arthur screamed. "Ah!" James and Arthur screamed. Luckily, no one was hurt. Thomas and Percy chuffed up. If we had only done our work, James and Arthur could have still been chuffing without an accident, and they would be more focused. And from that day on, Thomas and Percy both did all their work without any lazy days. One day, Thomas was pulling Annie and Clarabelle down its branch line. Soon, he passed a tree. Behind that tree was Bertie the bus. "Hey, Thomas, want a rice?" Bertie said. "Sure," said Thomas, "when we get to the next station." When they got to the next station, Thomas was waiting for Bertie. Bertie rolled in. "Hey, Thomas, let's go have that race."
Let's have a race, have a race, have a race. Let's see who is the quickest. Who can be the fastest? On your marks now, get set, go! Let's have a race, have a race, have a race. Let's see if you can catch me. Let's see if you can match me. So let's have a race, have a race.
But then there was trouble. The siding was set so Thomas would go down into a broken old bridge, and Thomas crashed into the pond that the tracks of the bridge had rotted under. Bertie had come up. "Hey, Thomas, I guess I won the race." "Thomas, you have caused confusion and delay on my railway," said the fat controller. "I'm sorry, Thomas. It was my idea for the race. Now Bertie has to take your passengers." A new sign was installed by the old bridge, and Thomas and Bertie decided to stop their racing. Rusty is a narrow-gauge diesel who shares sheds with Victor, Millie, and Kevin for some reason. One day, Mr. Percival, the controller of the narrow-gauge railway, pulled up in his car. "Rusty, I need you to take these 3 conveniently placed flatbeds to the standard gauge railway." "All right, sir," Rusty said, and he started to puff away. He coupled up to the flatbeds, and then he started making his way to the standard gauge railway. When he got to the standard gauge railway shark tunnel, he connected the cars to the entrance. "Is it ready down there, Norman?" And then he sent the cars down. Norman then came to pick up the cars. "Hey, question, Norman. How do narrow gauge cars fit on your rails?" "Oh, all the tracks here are dual gauge." "Good to know," said Rusty. And then he sent himself down the hill. "I'll spend the day on the standard gauge railway." And he started puffing. Then he came across Paxton. Must be new diesel." Rusty was rolling around when he saw Norman push the tracks down to the old bridge. "All right, men, you do your stuff." "Norman!" Rusty yelled. "Oh, what is it, Rusty?" Norman. "Why did you just dump those flatbeds into the old bridge?" "Oh, we're fixing it up. Now move out of the way. You gotta do jobs, I gotta do jobs, and then go." Then Rusty made his way up the hill and into the shark tunnel. Then he traveled all the way back down the hills and went back to the sheds with Millie and Victor. Toby is a tram engine on the island of Sodor. He puffs to the quarry, and to Timoth's sheds, and to other places. One day, he saw Mavis, one of his good friends. "Hey, Mavis," Toby said. "Well, I can't talk now, Toby. I gotta shunt these cars." Well, Toby said. "I will talk to you later, though." And he started to puff away. Toby was puffing near the new quarry. Man, it is good to be at the quarry. Then Diesel rolled up. "Toby, you better stay here at the new quarry. It'll make you feel better, but I gotta go to the sheds and do other jobs." And Toby rolled away. "All right, boys. I might have convinced him." Yeah, I don't think I convinced him. I might have. Toby didn't hear him, though. Then he saw Henry. "Hey, Toby," said Henry. "Hey, Henry," said Toby. "I gotta go do my other jobs." "The Diesel's coming up with a scheme, though," Henry said. "Yes, they are. Yes, they are." Then Henry rolled away. "I gotta do my jobs." Mavis came up. What are you Diesels doing here?" "We are trying to convince Toby to stay at the quarry, so that way we can do our trick." You little. And Mavis bashed Diesel so hard he started to knock over. Then it started a domino chain, knocked over Norman, Philip, Den, Paxton, and all the other Diesels. Mavis," Sir Topham Hatt yelled. "You have caused confusion and delay on my railway. Now all the Diesels will have to be mended and put back on the rails for your damage. You will have to stay in your non-existent shed." Toby did all of Mavis's jobs. And then all the Diesels were fixed. And that's my story. Toby, that's the worst story we have ever heard. Gordon is a very big engine on the island of Sodor who pulls a coach train called the Express. Henry is another big engine, but he mainly pulls freight cars. Gordon doesn't like Henry that much. One day, Gordon was rolling onto the turntable and said to Henry, "Henry, what special do you have today? Getting stuck in a tunnel?" And he puffed away. "Yeah, I don't think Gordon likes me," said Henry. Later, Gordon was pulling the Express. "Express coming through," he shouted as he rolled down the line. But when he got to the first station, one of his coaches got uncoupled, and he didn't notice. Later, Fergus noticed. This is one of Gordon's coaches! Oh, I better go take it to him." Gordon stopped at the airport, and back there, his coaches got uncoupled again. Gordon didn't notice, and he puffed away. Soon, Charlie found the other coach. Gordon was puffing near Timoth's sheds, where he got to his next stop, the Skarlowy Railway, and he left one of his coaches there. And at his final stop, his final coach got uncoupled. He puffed away, thinking the shunters had taken the coaches. The next morning, Gordon got out of his shed. "What job do you have today, Henry? Crashing the flying kipper?" "Ha ha." Soon, Henry came out of his shed. "Yeah. Did Gordon insult me?" "Fergus, where are my coaches?" "I think Henry took them." "Henry!" But it was right. Henry was pulling the Express. "Henry, You can't pull the express. That is my job. You have freight cars. But the passengers love me. They say I'm very smooth. Well, yes, that means you can do something. That's what I've been trying to tell you, Gordon. And from that day on, Gordon was nicer to Henry. Edward is a small blue engine who looks like James on the island of Sodor. He's old and wise. He doesn't work as well as he used to because of his age, but today he'll be pulling a special freight train to the engines working at the quarry. Edward was happily puffing along until a set of points that usually went from a level crossing or a mine hadn't been set correctly. Edward was set to go down the level crossing, but instead went down the mine. There was more trouble. Edward's brake van got caught in the mine tunnel, and the coupling snapped. Edward was racing down the tracks until he bumped into an old engine. What? Who are you? Don't you say I'm trying to sleep? Another engine! Oh, yes, could you rescue me? What's your name? I don't know who you are. I'm the Rocket. Or Steven, says Rocket, but you can call me Steven. Okay, let's get you out of here. The two engines coupled up to each other, and then they were off. Oh, my wheels are so stiff, I haven't moved in years. Eventually, they caught up with Edward's brake van, and coupled back up to it. Edward left Stephen in the siding, and he went back to go deliver those trucks to the quarry. But every time Edward does see Stephen, he'll reassure him that he'll get him parts someday. He just can't seem to find them right now.
One day, Thomas was taking a train to the China Clay Works. It was full of coal for the two new twin engines that had arrived. Oh, Thomas, we are so glad you're here. You're just in time. The twin engines are almost here. Mavis, the twins are here. Oh, hello, Thomas. Just then, two small yellow tank engines came racing down the hill. I'm Bill, and this is Ben. We're twins. Oh, jolly good, Mavis said. Thomas, just leave your cars in the shunting yard. We'll get them later. And Thomas did so. Make sure to keep a close eye on them. Twins sure are a handful, Thomas said, as he puffed away. Hello, Bill and Ben. I see you're twins. We don't need another Donald Douglas accident over here, so do your best at not messing up. Mavis shuddered as she remembered the Donald Douglas accident. Donnie! We'll do our best, said Ben. He's right, said Bill. You know, I think we'll start doing a good job right now. Ben coupled up to Thomas's train, and he started shoving it towards the level crossing. The truck started pushing on the bar, so much so that it jolted over the bar. Bertie the bus was coming down at a high speed. Ben stopped. Bertie screeched to a stop. Why were you just sitting there? Said Bertie. Don't know. And Ben puffed away. Ben zoomed past Thomas. Well, you gotta help him, Thomas said, as he ran onto the turntable. Well, I guess I'm doing this now, said Thomas. Thomas coupled up to him. Thomas tried to screech on his brakes, but Ben and the trucks were way too powerful. I'll think I join in too, said Bill, and he coupled up. He had to keep jolting cars to get them moving, but eventually he did, and it started moving faster than ever. It was like a roller coaster going around sharp bends insanely quickly. Stop! Yelled Thomas. We have to keep going, chanted the trucks. And when they went over a turn, Bill fell into the ditch. Well, I guess I'm stuck. And I guess we're derailed, said the trucks. So Tom Hat walked up. I cannot believe you did this, Thomas, he shouted. Come on, like they're new engines. I just bought them. But sir, Bill and Ben were doing this, not me. I was just trying to stop it. Shut up, Thomas. You were at the back of the train. Of course you were trying to do this. Yeah, I was, Thomas. See? Ben agrees. Oh, you have to shunt now, Thomas. I forgot to give you a punishment. Thomas spent the rest of the day shunting, and occasionally Bill and Ben would come up and taunt him. Well, if it isn't old 4 wheels. I don't have 4 wheels, I have 6 wheels. They never listen. I still have to get back at them, but that's a story for another day. Philip, Charlie, Denton, and Fergus are the 4 shunting engines. They push trucks, they move trucks up to the narrow gauge engines, and they'll haul loads to the mines, or maybe just freight trains. One day, Den was talking to Philip. He was disappointed. How come I'm the only one in the group that has ever done anything of note? What have you not done? What I'm talking about is that Fergus ran away, and you raced Gordon. I'm the only person who hasn't done anything of note. Well, I guess you could. Well, I guess we could play with Flying Kipper. You're right. I'll go to the shed. So Tom Hat walked up to the shed to pick an engine. How about you, big city engine? Well, I have to pull coaches, and I wouldn't even pull Smelly Fish if I didn't have anything to do. I'd pull them, sir, but I was supposed to shunt today. We could pull them, sir. You two combined couldn't even do that job. I could pull them. Den! Yes, you could do it, Den. You've shown lots of strength. So Den coupled up to the train and started pulling the Flying Kipper. He got to a level crossing, but he had to stop. Oh, hurry up, he chanted. Then Ned came across and quickly rolled over. Sorry. Oh, finally. And he quickly rolled away. Hey, Philip, guess what? I'm doing something important! He kept pulling the train quickly and finished it fast. When he got home, there was a little surprise for him. Charlie, Fergus, and Philip were all sitting there. Congratulations! You did something of note! Hey, yeah, I did. But someone else was there to speak to him. Sir Topham Hatt had walked up. Then, great job! You pulled it quickly and right on time. Then they walked away, and all 4 engines were happy.
Daisy is a rail car on the island of Sodor. Because she is a rail car, she can pull passengers without needing to pull coaches as well. And since she is so long, she has problems getting over certain turns. One day, Daisy was laying in the shed. She wouldn't start. Oh, why would I just start already? I'm going to be late for my first train. Eventually, she did start, and she rolled onto the turntable. Oh, finally, I've started, she yelled. Daisy went down to the level crossing and got stuck on the level crossing. Now, passing road vehicles couldn't get by, and engines couldn't get by either. Butch pulled up. Daisy, why would you just move? I have to go tow Monty. Well, I'm sorry, Butch, but you're gonna have to stay put or go around me. Fine, I'll go around you. And Henry got stuck pulling the express. Daisy, move! I have passengers to pull. Well, I'm sorry, Henry, but I'm a bit stuck right now. Ugh. I'll just go in that tunnel. Henry entered the tunnel and screamed. Ah! He quickly rushed out. Daisy, just move! Well, the helicopter was taking his daily fly around the island when he saw the commotion. He flew down to see. What's happening here? Daisy is stuck on the rails, and I'm pulling the express. But I am stuck on the level crossing and can't move. I see. I'll have to have that fat controller. Then Max came up. Come on. This big load can't keep itself up forever. Well, I'm sorry, but you can either stay in front of me or go around me. Max tried to roll on the rails in front of Daisy, but his wheels were too big and heavy to get on them. Help, he cried. Help! But then there was more trouble. Mavis was happily rolling down the line. But Mavis didn't notice Max on the rails until it was too late. She tried to screech on her brakes, but it was too late. She crashed into Max. You engines are too mean to me. I was just trying to haul my load. And I was just trying to pull a freight train.
But Daisy was in the way. Well,
Daisy tried
I'm
to move.
sorry, but I can't move down the ramp.
Yeah, now I'm
Daisy,
gonna be
can
late.
you move off the ramp? I have to pull my passengers. So Dumb Hat walked up. What's this? Crashed cars? Max on the side? Henry stumped? Daisy? You caused all this? Well, sir, I was just stuck on the ramp. And Max pulled up, but he couldn't move. And then he tried to get on the tracks, but he couldn't roll onto them. So Mavis was going down, and then she crashed into Max. And then they both crashed, and then Henry came up. Butch pulled up to pick up Max. Well, this is bad. Daisy, I'm having you sent to the works so that way you can actually ride on the ramp. Henry, push Daisy off the ramp. And Mavis, I'll have you put back on the rails. Okay, sir, I'll push her. 3, 2, Henry started pushing Daisy. And then Daisy quietly rolled off to the works so she could get new wheels. One day, Douglas, Toby, Thomas, and Diesel were sitting in the shed, and Sir Topham Hatt walked up with some big news. Since we have so much scrap on the island, I've hired an engine to help with it. Then, along Diesel rolled up. He was painted like a dark yellow, and he had a big brown claw on top of him. Everyone, this is Diesel 10. He will help with the scrap from now on. Hello. I'm pleased to meet you. I don't like the looks of him, said Douglas. He looks very suspicious. Now, don't be silly, Douglas. He can't be that suspicious, Thomas said, as he rolled out and started puffing to get his coaches. Oh, come on, Thomas. He can't be that suspicious. He's a diesel with a claw on top of him. Suddenly, he saw a big car of scrap come up. Oh, hello, blue one. How's your day going? What's your name? It's Thomas. Thomas! How are you doing? I'm delivering this scrap. Hey, you're not a diesel. Well, I won't judge. I just have a small bias. Thomas quickly puffed away. Thomas was at the airport. Daisy, what should I do? He keeps like taunting me. Like, he's not deliberate, but he's taunting me. Oh, Thomas, I'm just excited that there's actually another diesel. Someone who understands my pain. He's long, right? Oh, yeah, he's long. Yes, someone who understands my pain. Thomas, he's just a diesel. He actually seems pretty nice. Early in the morning, Thomas couldn't stop thinking about Diesel 10. He rolled under the turntable and started to see if he was awake and busy working. Thomas hurried up. He eventually found him in a meeting with the other diesels. And if you see that little blue puffball again, give me a signal. He hid in a little corner. Diesel 10 noticed him though. Hey, what's that little mark? Thomas hurried back as fast as he could. Diesel 10 rolled up. Oh, must be nothing. Okay, back to the meeting. Thomas hurried back and moved into a tunnel. Did I just see it move? Norman, go after him. Oh, yes sir. Anything for a new diesel. Norman rushed past the tunnel without even noticing Thomas was in there. Phew, he thought, as he rolled out of there. Thomas hurried off to pick up his first train. Later that day, Paxton was at a junction. He saw Thomas roll by with a freight train. Red alert, he yelled. Red alert! Diesel 10 rushed over as fast as he could roll. Where is he, Paxton? Where? Oh, he just went down that corner. All right, cover me. Thomas rushed down the siding. Diesel 10 went the other direction. That direction led straight into the ditch. Ow! Diesel 10's motor short-circuited, and Pinchy went everywhere. Oh great, my claw's not working. Someone, help! Help the new diesel, he said in a sweet voice. Are you alright?
No, I'm not alright. Get me out!
Okay, and bring me to the works. There I need you to fix me and help me find a new way to find that blue tank engine. That puffball.